Hello world, this is Stefan of Lenjigan Games. If you try this game out and you have fun, feel free to join the Lenjigan Games Discord. Also, any help to the game through Patreon would be greatly appreciated. On that note, thank you Fish with Headphones for the Patreon support. As of February 23rd, 2022, I have figured out the proportions for hobbit-sized characters. I wish I could have just shrunk height and width by half and moved on, like I've seen so many other games do. But seeing them do that actually inspired me to do exactly not that. Granted, I did shrink the entire body in half as a first step so I could get a handle on how tall the final measurements will be. Also, the simple shrink showed me that the head and body need to be shrunk separately. In terms of ratio, dwarfs have a bigger head compared to their torsos than do regular-sized folk. Fortunately, I stumbled onto a lucky guess for the head and body proportions that came out to nice round numbers. After that, I needed to thicken the lines back up. Thinner lines really bugged me in games that just shrunk larger characters to make smaller ones. On the first attempt, I made the mistake of using the same process that I used for thickening lines for the silhouette. It came out not horribly, but it made extra issues for me because I was trying to use a blanketly applied artifact in a discriminatory manner, which means that fixing up the image after fixing it up was too many steps. Like I said, though, the first draft came out pretty close to what I wanted, and it's up on my Discord if you want to accurately tell me how bad I am at art. All I need to do to thicken the lines, and I should have done this first, is just throw the fill bucket on the black lines a few times. Doing the second draft with that cranked out cleaner line work. Now that I've nailed down the new dimensions, next up is the tedious phase where I have to resize, reposition, and re-thicken a couple thousand images. Right now, though, I am in a bit of a slump. I had actually gotten this all done by Sunday, but I just hadn't been able to focus enough to make this devlog. As well, there were a few days where I just couldn't bring myself to work on the art at all. Some of it does indeed have to do with the Miyazaki workflow, where after every tweak, I have to take a 2-hour agony break. I suspect that part of it also is that for the latest update, I pushed myself harder than I thought I did, and now that the adrenaline is worn off, there's none of it left. Part of it also is job searching, which is harder than expected in a small town. Prayers are appreciated, of course. Nonetheless, a slump is where I currently am, but I've been here before, so I know it's just temporary. Here's hoping I make at least some progress by next week.